The video games industry is one of the most innovative and fastest growing industries in the world. The men and women of this industry work tirelessly to provide entertainment for the masses, and some of these provide the music. Music that we love. Music that we listen to when we're enjoying ourselves playing those video games. Video games. Music that we love. Music that we listen to when we're enjoying ourselves listening to video games. Video games. Do we even know who these people are? No. Would video games be the same without them? No. What you're about to hear?
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Indie Game Showcase.
What are we about to hear, though?
What are we about to hear?
You just cut off the song.
Oh.
What am I supposed to know?
You're about to hear the Indie Game Showcase.
Oh, okay. I was worried for a second.
Jeez. I'm one of your hosts, The Average Gamer, and beside me is some obnoxious
I'm one of your hosts,
guy.
The Average Gamer.
God.
But you can call me Giant.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of funny. What are we playing tonight, Giant?
We're playing 2 games. So tonight we're having a...
Sweet. What games, Giant?
I don't know. We're still to see when we get there.
Oh my god.
Stormile Productions and Pixelnauts join us today. Hey, look, I'm wearing a Pixelnaut shirt. Look at that. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah. So we're going to be playing, what's the first game called?
That,
Disciples of the Storm?
Disciples of the Storm.
Disciples of the Storm. I've been really excited. I've been watching the Kickstarter for this, and I really want to see what this game is all about.
So, yeah, we'll talk to him more about the Kickstarter and his new crowdfunding endeavors and all sorts of stuff. And then after that, we'll be talking to Chris and possibly Alex from Pixelnaut Studios while playing Lost Orbit and just shooting the shit, basically.
Sweet. Sounds like a good show.
Shooting thine shit.
All right. Well, let's grab Nate. See if he's ready for a call.
Ahoy there, matey. Natey.
No, ahoy there, Natey. Indeed. Okay, he's good.
I'll be on the Stairmaster.
That's ridiculous.
Hello.
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 How's it going, Nate?
Doing good.
Good. Excited to have you on the show tonight.
It's a pleasure to be on.
Yes, I have been excited for this project for months. I know you and me have been talking about it already, but yeah.
This guy here is fangirling. Basically.
I am fangirling a little bit. So I want to say thanks for being on the show.
Well, I've been really hoping to come on, and so it's a pleasure to be on tonight.
Awesome. So before we start, we should probably start with if you want to give like a quick synopsis of what Disciples of the Storm is for the people that don't know.
Disciples of the Storm is a spiritual reboot of the game style of NetStorm Islands at War. It was an RTS that was released initially back in 1997. Came out around the same time that Age of Empires came out during the holiday season. So, while initially it was slotted to have much bigger coverage, when it came out with release alongside Age of Empires, it kind of got swept under the rug and went under the radar for most. But it was a highly addictive game with gameplay that, while a little clunky at first to get used to, it was very entertaining to play. And the number of people over the years have been trying to keep the project alive with the first one with the community patching and running of servers of the 2D version. Back in 2007, I started working on creating 3D models from the game to do a fan tribute of the game as a 3D version, bringing it from 2D to 3D. And we start working with the Unity game engine on creating the initial core engine for the bridging mechanics, island generation, and the priest system for, constructing of altars, temples, and workshops, and so on. we then gained the attention of the original developers that worked on NetStorm. We got in contact with Jim Greer, Beverly Garland, and Morgan Ogburn, and they were really excited that the community still remembered their game that they did back in '97 after all these years, and were wanting to bring it into 3D and bring it to Steam. So Jim helped us reach out to the people at Activision and stuff, and we tried to see if we could get the go-ahead to make it an official NetStorm 2 and release it as the official sequel. But there wasn't much interest from Activision about moving ahead with that. So we had the option of dropping using anything that was NetStorm related and moving to creating our own IP with units that were inspired but not, the exact identical units from the first game.
Yeah.
Creating new world, still same floating island, creating new gods instead of being calling the Furies, they're now called the Tempest, like the Tempest of the Storm, so on. So we started creating the new IP, and Beverly Garland and Morgan Ogburn has been working with us on doing some of the concepts for like the temple design and unit designs, giving us advice on how to create the new art style that continues to pay tribute to the first game.
So when it came to the reimagining of NetStorm away from Activision, were they okay that with the what you're doing?
Yeah, we talked with we exchanged some emails back then, and we basically alerted them that we're dropping all IP from the first game. The gameplay mechanics are not copyrighted, so we're just using similar gameplay style that NetStorm had, but creating all new units and world designs.
Cool.
Perfect.
That's really cool. So I was just going to ask about what the community was like over the last nearly 20 years. Holy cow. Over the last nearly 20 years.
Where have you been?
No, that's what I mean, because I played NetStorm way back in the day. It was one of my favorite RTS games, and everybody's going to see why. It's very unique with the mechanics. So, you're saying about how people are hosting servers and that kind of stuff. How does the community like that kind of build and propagate itself? Hello?
I think this streaming kind of dropped out there.
Oh.
Yeah, the community has been rather supportive for, since it's been 20 years basically since the game came out, the community has, drifted away, so it's a lot smaller community. But we've been having people coming on to Steam and finding our project, and they're going like, holy cow, NetStorm, reboot of the game, this was everything they were looking for. And slowly more people are finding out about us, but being a small indie team, getting the word out is really hard. And the name, we're going to be moving once we get the Steam release to doing a slight change on the name to avoid any antagonism, because we've had some people that have flamed us about the name going, Disciple of the Storm, you're copying Heroes of the Storm, you're ripping it off. And
jeez.
No, the game we're doing the reboot of was called NetStorm. So what we're doing is, disciples are, followers, continuation. So we named it Disciples of the Storm because it was supposed to be a spiritual reboot of the NetStorm game, but in a new world and IP.
I wonder if this happens with music, where you'll have two songs with the same name come out within a couple years of each other, and both, do you get the fans of the one person going, oh, you can't name it the same name?
I just saw, where was I? I was at Walmart today, and there's a movie called Dying Light with Nicolas Cage.
Oh.
Which is also a video game that, just came out.
Yeah. We were also talking about Transcendence.
Yeah.
A couple weeks, or last week.
Yeah, we were talking with them 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Talking about the game Transcendence, which
has been around for 12 years.
12 years, and then the Transcendence movie came out.
2 years ago. That's got to be kind of annoying, though, especially with something like NetStorm. I was saying to Giant earlier, because he's like, well, I wonder if people, or if you guys have had flack because it sounds a little bit like Heroes of the Storm. And I was like, please, when NetStorm was out, Blizzard was still making Warcraft 2. Seriously.
Right. there's been a number, there's books that have, and the end of the title Storm in them, and there's movies, The Perfect Storm,
Yeah.
And there's also the other game, Rising Storm, that's, the World War II, and also they
Oh, yeah, right.
So, just having Storm in the title does not, it's not copyrightable.
Well, as long
That's
as you
so silly.
as long as you don't have Saga in the name.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
King.
King. Let's not get into King tonight.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. They were bought.
So, I know we want to do a few things, specifically kind of to show off the gameplay, because as everybody saw it, the splash screen said NetStorm 2. This is obviously an early development build as well. You guys have a lot of placeholder assets that are in right now. So, that's what I'm saying. It's early development. But that being said, what kind of island parameters do you think I should be building? Just to show off tonight.
Okay, go with the medium map size with go with large island size. And then density, go with some.
Okay.
Yeah, yesterday,
nice.
when he was pointing me around the game, we did a large map size, huge island size, and we did island density of lots. And by the end of an hour, both sides had barely done anything.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're going to load in here.
Go with the huge island size so that you actually have islands large enough to put the outposts on.
Oh yeah, they look pretty big. You'll see in a moment. I don't know what the delay is right now.
Awesome.
Hopefully it's only about 15 seconds.
Yeah, shouldn't be too bad.
Wind Fury, I choose you!
Holy cow. Ooh, big. Okay, so I can go like this.
So that's
Move around
not
here.
your side, that's the
okay.
opponent's side. And what
So-
you can do is you can also use a mouse, tap the mouse to the bottom of the screen, and it moves it as well. It should have.
Yeah, it's windowed.
Oh, okay.
That's all good. So the game we have that we can show. We have our main unit here. It's a real-time strategy game, except the world is built on all of these islands, and we have to battle using tower. Well, you'll see. But yeah, real-time strategy, archipelago of islands, archipelago, bunch of islands, and we have to build with it. That being said,
if you hit the P key, it'll zoom your camera view to your priest.
cool.
Right. And then you get to construct pylons.
Cool. Alter, I assume. Start.
What do you start with?
Ooh.
You start
Oh, I
with
have it
your
right here.
priest as your first unit.
Temple.
He's your avatar in game, and you have to make sure that he doesn't get captured and sacrificed by either the enemy player or AI player when AI is implemented. So he's basically both your priest, and also you can say he's sort of like the flag in a capture the flag game, because the opponent's main goal is to capture you and bring you back to his island and offer you up to one of his deities.
Lovely.
Okay, so you can see we've implemented basic camera, which brings it to a full 3D look around. You can look at the world from any angle. If you right-click your priest, this will bring up a ring menu. Now, the thing about this menu is we're going to be moving away from the current GUI that's is a copy of the NetStorm GUI, and we're going to be implementing a whole new graphical user interface. We've posted some screenshots of the prototype GUI that we've now gotten the art done for on our Indiegogo page. And we're moving away from having all the interface options buried and to have it more in a quick, intuitive graphical user interface.
Cool. Okay.
So you got the Thunder Temple and the altar constructed.
Yes. And next we wanted to do Golem resource collectors.
You
Yeah,
need to start building your way
Over
to
here,
to the
yes.
steamboats.
That's right. Mm. Try to get him move.
What are you trying to do right now?
Move my priest to get him over here.
Oh, what you do is that you have to actually build a bridge to it first before you can do anything. So you just grab one of those.
Oh, right.
And then
right.
he'll start
Sorry, it's been a
automatic.
few years.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think you only
There
need
you
the
go.
small one, possibly.
Yeah, should be.
And you just have to click on it. You have to drag.
Doop.
Yeah, I think you can just get away with
There
that.
you Boop.
Oh. Is that attached? I don't know if it's attached or not.
Yeah, if you look at the edges of the islands, you can see there's
Yep.
the areas that are the green areas
Okay.
where you can construct off of, and then there's the bits that have the vines hanging down. These were all stand-in assets when we were working on the older version, so they're not the current art set. So
Yeah.
it's a little hard right now seeing where you can bridge off your island from. So we're going to be working
So
to
now what?
implement some better visual aids for the bridging.
So how does he get his priest over to the resource, the geyser?
I can't really see. The stream seems to have stopped, so I can't really see what the stream here is doing.
Well, he just built a bridge to the nearest storm geyser,
Okay.
and he just is trying to get his priest to move and start collecting resources.
Okay. If he's right next to your temple, hit the P key and that'll select him. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then left click on this mana pool.
There we go.
There we go. That's right. I was doing it wrong.
Oh yeah, it looks
Silly
like we're
me.
buffering now.
Really? I'm not having a problem. Is anybody else having a problem?
Let us see. Oh, come on. Phone. Let's see if we're still doing this.
Mhm. Ask if anybody's
Okay,
having
now I
fucking
see him
issues.
moving.
There we go.
It gets so big.
Hmm?
Get so big up close. Yeah.
There we go.
If yours is working, that's good. 'Cause
Ah.
mine is.
Okay, good. Yeah, Astra's not having issues either.
Might be buffering, but oh well. If yours is working, then that is good.
Beautiful view.
And it's fun that you can watch the opponent do the same thing.
I'm sure he's doing it
Yeah.
a lot more than I am.
Not
Now
really.
you, now you can see that we've got in the basic mechanics, we've been getting some people on our campaign and on different Facebook groups who are saying, well, you can't create a game for the 10K that you're asking for. And the thing is, we're not trying to create a game from scratch. We already have the core element implemented for everything from the bridging mechanics to the world system, and what we're looking to do is raising the funds for the final production for the Sun faction and the remaining units for the Rain faction.
Yeah, very much, and that's cool because it feels already that you've got most of the mechanics are like in place. It's running quite well, and you're really just kind of finishing it off and getting the assets all in there.
Now you can see your priest, he'll bring back the crystal to your temple, and that'll give you some currency. And if you construct a Sun Workshop, you can start constructing the Sun units, and you can show some of those off.
Sure.
Also, from what I learned yesterday, if you want to start attaching bridges to the extra things, you build yourself an outpost.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, the outposts are what allows you to actually claim the other islands that are not your home island. That you can bridge up to those islands, and once linked up to that bridge, you can place stuff on those island segments. But you can't bridge off the other side of the island if you have not claimed that island. So the outposts both allow you to take control of it, and also to then start building off the sites that aren't connected.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we have our Sun Workshop all ready to go.
Okay, if you right-click it and bring up the menu, you'll see it'll bring up a sub-menu. Now this is what I was saying about the GUI before was currently everything's like buried in sub-menus, so
Yeah.
you have to click through box after box. Well, this is what we're changing with the new GUI, is moving to having the things only be in one pop-up.
Where are the gates back?
Really intuitive then.
Cool. So we put knowledge into production. I have 2 available. Were there certain ones you wanted me to check out?
Okay, first construct. I think you put in one of the generators and then construct a sun balloon.
Okay.
So you want to put a generator on your island because the sun balloon requires 2 power points, and since the sun is a neutral faction, it can use any of the power generators as sources.
Go.
So are you having a nostalgia trip right now?
So much so. Oh man, you don't know how many hours I put in Netstorm. It's such a fun game because of how unique it was. I found because it felt almost like an aggressive tower defense. Oh wow. It felt like an aggressive tower defense like back in the day, which
Yeah, it was like tower defense meets tower offense.
Yeah. So it made it really kind of interesting. Okay, here we're making the sun balloon. Sweet. It's interesting the way you need to think about it, because your whole thing is backwards, because how are you going to take your enemy out when your troops can't move? If that makes sense.
Yeah. Now you can take your balloon and take it off to faraway lands, like that one over there.
Do-do-do. Oops.
Look at how it is.
Do-do-do. Yay!
You're doing this a lot faster than I did. Which only makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
So you can construct the sun balloon. Now the thing about the sun balloon and the other assets are, and if you remember in Netstorm, there was like little obelisks that were on islands that had spells that your resource collectors could pick up.
Yes.
Either cast lightning. So we're going to be keeping that in. So having these air units be able to go over and pick up special game objects gives you a bit, makes the units resource collectors have both resource collection ability and also a little bit of attack ability.
Oh, okay. There we go. Let's get some metagame going.
Get some meta! So you're saying that with the current build that we have right now, the offense, or sorry, the opponent is currently a little bit dumbed down, just so...
Right. Currently, the AI knows how to construct bridges, workshops, and temple, and some resource collectors. But the AI at this point does not know about attacking and capturing, and sacrificing your priests. It's very basic, but it gives you something that you can test out the attack units on to bridge up to his island and test out different attack abilities.
Works for me.
Oh, goodness. Oh, you got so many balloons going. Jeez.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you doing, man?
I will be rich.
Eventually. I had all of one balloon after an hour. But I did have I had about 4 islands and 2 other outposts.
And see, now I can do that too, but I'm making money 6 times as fast as you.
Also, yeah, well. I also had, what was the one thing you made me construct to extend the power?
Oh, the power generator. That's the thing about the game, is that all the units you have to construct inside a power range of either your temple or generators. So using the generators, if you place them close to the edge of your temple's radius, it expands your power radius out so that you can move out beyond the confines of your island. He's currently got the thunder generator in production.
Yeah.
And if you click on it, you can show that it emits that little circular range indicator, and each of the power generators have their own little icons, so it shows what they are.
Alright. And So, then we can build outposts, I believe.
Right.
Can we not fit? Or do I not have enough power?
No, you'll probably have to build a...
Oh, it's not connected.
Oh, it's not connected. That does the trick.
Yeah, I think you need to use that little L section, bridge section.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Oh,
Should've.
you might not be able to actually connect it. What I in future builds, will you be able, or will you make it so that people can destroy the piece of bridge that they connected quicker, or do they have to just wait for it to degrade?
There.
We're currently debating about the bridge destruction ability because we're looking at ways to make it a little bit user-friendly for bridge placement for islands. So we're currently
It's too far away
reevaluating
from...
that ability.
Looks like you need to build yourself a power post.
It's right there.
Is
I
that
think
one?
you need.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I think you need to use one of the shorter sections to link up with that island thing because you got like one slot.
he did. And now it's doesn't look like it's connecting.
Oh, you're right. Oh.
What's going on, man?
There, that's why. It's not connected.
Oh,
It did need another one.
it needs another one.
Yeah, you
It
need a
MCS'd
short-
me.
Oh, weird. Weird. You could do this. Yeah, that was one of my issues. I'm like, how do I do this? How do I just want to connect it. Oh, it's so close.
There, that one. Yeah, there, you linked up.
No, we're not linked up yet.
Huh?
It's still like one block away.
There.
Oh, there you go.
Ba-da-da.
Yay!
And it's actually the shortest. Like, we got a straight line across, too. That's so funny.
So now you can send your priest to that island and construct the outpost.
Wah, wah, wah. Boop. Boop. Yay!
You're winning.
Splendid. And I'm rich.
5100. What are the what's the currency called?
Storm mana.
Storm mana. Okay. 5100, 5300 storm mana.
So if we upgrade our workshop, can we put more, can we get more knowledge?
Yes.
Okay.
If you upgrade it, you can research for further units.
Cool. Oh, pretty. Yeah, I remember. Oh man, I just had a memory flood of like grabbing the other priests and bringing it back to the altar, and they'd like, you string them up there, and then they're like, and then.
Oh wow! You capture the priest and you
Yeah. Yep. Oh, very much so.
You have selected regicide. If you know the name of the king or queen being murdered, press 1.
Oh, cool. So they can bring that too.
This game is early build of Disciples of the Storm.
Yes, Disciples of the Storm.
Mm-hmm.
It's currently doing an Indiegogo campaign at the moment to
Do we have a link
raise
for that, Giant?
funds.
Yeah, Nate, do you have a link to your Indiegogo campaign? We were talking about that yesterday. I never actually got that off of you.
Hold on, let me grab the link here.
Sure.
Okay.
There we go.
This is a earlier build of the project from just when we were switching over. It's the most stable build at this moment. We're working on getting a new build that some of our testers are starting to debug, but we're not ready to show it publicly because we were trying to keep that exclusively for people that are on the backing end.
Oh, that makes sense. Where the heck is my priest?
We have some shots
Oh, there you
up
go.
on the Indiegogo page that show some of the new GUI, and also there's a video on the Indiegogo that shows the newer world lighting effects. You can see the difference that this build has with how it looks rather dull, the world, kind of flat. And the new graphics that we're adding that has the atmospheric lighting of the sun rays filtering down through the clouds, spiraling rock vortexes below the floating islands from the the gods below.
It looks gorgeous too. Alright, so we can research one more currently for our knowledge. What do you think we should try?
Show the sun barricade, because this shows an important element about gameplay. There's the different units. There's the attack units and blocker units.
Okay. We don't have... We've got the sun disc thrower, the cannon, stone tower, sun bar.
Sun bar.
Okay, perfect.
And if you construct one of those, and then you construct another that's in line with that unit.
Yeah.
It generates a sunbeam between the two
So
sun
like
bars
that
that
side
then
and
block
that side. It'll work.
Yep. I remember these.
fires.
I remember these.
Takes
Or at least
me
something-
back to the day before I had a job, before I got paid.
So you go like that.
So you could fill, within a range of the sun bar, you could create walls of these that, you could zigzag them as long as they were in line with each other, and create multi-layered walls of these to block fire. And the only way that the player could get through was if he actually attacked one of the bars itself to take it out. So effectively you could cut off wide swaths of enemy fire with these.
Oh, slightly off.
Just slightly.
Dang.
One pixel off. There you go. So, yeah, I remember using these. Oh my god, I am having such a nostalgia ness right now. I got nothing. I got no words. No words.
Nostalgiasm.
Sure, that works. All right, we expand.
So the other units you can put into,
So
if
now
you
you need another
salvage
outpost there.
your altar,
Can't
you
fit
should have room to be able to construct a wind workshop.
Oh yes, we'll do that.
You need
Let's
an
show some of the other units.
You need an outpost for everyone.
Now,
Unless you don't have
to
room.
bridge up to the enemy island, you don't have to actually capture all the islands. You can,
No.
using the power generators, just bridge onto the end of the bridge segments. And that was one thing about NetStorm and our reboot, is the bridges aren't just a travel path that your units move from, can move across, but you can actually build off the ends of the bridges, and it puts the little platforms that your structures appear on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And you could also spell out swears.
Oh, really?
With the bridges
Oh.
to taunt your enemies.
Cool, bro.
I know, bro. It's awesome, bro.
When NetStorm was at its peak back in between 98 and 2000, the servers were just packed with players, and there was people that were really great at being able to both bridge and knowing, the battles could get really frantic. If you look up on YouTube at some of the recorded games, they got really fast-paced with thousands of units attacking on screen. So even though NetStorm, none of the units, that you can construct actually move about, the games, were still extremely fast-paced.
Yep.
So it was a lot different than just, like a game like StarCraft, where you would build a whole bunch of your units at your base and then rush them across the map to the other side. It had more emphasis on using pathing and knowing where was the best area to launch your strike from to attack the enemy island.
I actually
that is
enjoy
such a
the pacing
convoluted
with this
path.
because, as we can tell from my last play of
Not your space.
Not your space.
Not your
I am
space.
horrible when it's like, I got time. I'll just build this here.
Oh, I'm dead.
Happy little. Yeah, I was basically Rob Ross mode.
Yeah.
Rob Ross mode, where I'm just like, happy little thing here, and build a couple of those, and all of a sudden, blah, I'm just dead.
Alright, so we got our Sun Workshop. Yay!
Yeah, that's a hell of a maze. Oh, you didn't mean to do that. Well then.
The stream stopped. I can't see it.
Oh yeah, it stopped for me as well.
Not me.
What's going on?
You guys are having some issues.
There are some issues today. When we not have issues?
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, the wonderful world of live streaming. Just
the other one was the Sun Workshop too. I thought I built a Thunder Workshop. Nope, they're both Sun.
Put knowledge into production.
Whoops.
So, do you plan on having a soundtrack or voice actors with this game?
Yes, we've actually got two music people that are working with us, and one of the guys actually with helping them for doing the music for Dragon Age, and he's working with us on doing some music composition. So we do have some music that we're going to be working towards for the next build, and we're hoping to start showcasing some of the tracks in some trailers that we'll be releasing.
That's exciting.
Looks like you can't build it at all.
We're gonna
if you salvaged your Ultra on your home island, I think you'll have room to construct Wind Workshop, or you could just salvage the second Sun Workshop and construct the Wind Workshop.
No, that's what we were trying to do. It just won't fit. Nope. Nope. Oh, shoot. No, two.
It's not fitting anywhere. What'd you do?
Ooh.
How you do this? And it blows up everything around it.
Yeah, it melted down.
Melt down!
Uh-oh. Where'd you go? Why are you there?
So as you can see, that you could probably salvage those two generators because they're not needed at this point.
Yep.
And that should give you the room.
Yeah, and that is exactly what we did.
What are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do?
Don't worry about it.
What are you doing? What's happening? You gotta build an outpost,
So weird.
Gotta build an outhouse.
I got an outpost right there.
You gotta build an outhouse.
No, you don't need an outhouse in this world.
Outpost?
You don't need an outhouse in this world.
You just poop off the side.
Exactly. The world is your outpost. Or outhouse.
Outhouse. Hey, don't mind me, I'm just gonna get in one of those balloons and go poop out the sky sometimes.
Get me my poop tube.
My poop balloon. Sorry, what were we gonna say?
So as you can see, the base, we do have the core engine implemented. Oh, there, you can build it. There.
Yep.
Yay!
Yeah, found a spot. So, yeah, exactly. That, like, the game is here. It's really polished at this point. That you guys need.
And as I said, you can play this in multiplayer, but currently there is a server issue of connection that we're working on getting fixed. And we're going to be releasing that build soon to people that have backed us already on.
Cool.
We had a donation page up on our main page that people helped raise some funds that we used to get some more of the content done, and those people are now helping us with doing the testing. So we're going to be getting
That's awesome.
a new multiplayer build ready. And then we're going to be really focusing on making sure everything's ready for the August release.
That's cool. It's nice to be able to use your community that way as well. Because, I mean, this project really came from the community, so it's nice that you're so in touch with your community for the game, like to help release it.
Right. And as I said, people have been slowly coming back and finding out that there is a reboot of the style of NetStorm's gameplay, and the community's slowly been growing, and we've gone from having basically 5 people on our Facebook group to now having about, I think the last count was at around, oops, close that window. our current count, I think we're at like over 200 plus users now, up on 244 members now on our Facebook group, compared to, I think we're at like around 30 last year. So it's slowly, coming back, people playing the game, joining the community.
That's great. Okay, Wind Workshop.
Right.
Why, was there a specific reason we were building this?
To show some of the wind units. You can show. Go ahead and kind of put wind generator into production. Then you could construct airship and also the wind bow, just so you could show what those look like. The tech unit.
Well, you got lots of Stormman. Sorry, to think about that for a second.
It's because I don't have just one balloon.
Unfortunately, back in the day, I was stuck with
one balloon.
With one balloon.
You didn't know how to build additional pylons?
No, the pylons were always an issue. I knew somebody was going to say that eventually. It was just like, somebody's got to say it.
Yeah, the airship and, did we say the sail skater?
Devil Maker!
Now, if you zoom in on your priest, you'll notice something. You'll notice that the priest actually is very detailed, down to his hat and his clothing. And his hat and his clothing is actually separate from his body. And that for one reason, that eventually, as this game progresses, we hope to add priest customization down the road.
Awesome.
I mean, people could basically select the outfit that their priest would wear from different clothing options to make their priest unique to them.
That's cool.
I like that you can zoom in that close. It's just really, really fun.
It's very different from... You should look up some videos of, like, NetStorm, of old school NetStorm.
Your priest back then was like a little pixel on the screen.
Sure was. Oh man, I remember these. What do you do?
Yeah, back in... So this was around in 95,
So, what else do you want me to... 97.
97.
What do you want to see, Giant?
I want to know what the Devil Maker is.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that spawns a little tornado.
Oh, it looks just like it used to. Sorry, Nate. We posted some screenshots on the Indiegogo that shows the new wind spirit generator design. That's at the bottom of the Indiegogo page, and it shows it has a little tornado that it's spawning. And what the wind spirit generator does is it spawns this tornado, and it has a circular radius, and it will then attack any enemy units or structures that enter inside this radius. The little tornado will move off from the base and start, it'll cause damage to the structures or units that are inside that it's attacking. So we might have to salvage it for now.
The Devil Maker just killed the FPS.
Yes, it did.
Huh.
That's
early dev build.
We know about that issue.
Yeah.
Well, it was worth looking at least.
Yeah, totally.
You can salvage it.
No worries. So the airship. Let's talk about the airship.
Airship.
Build one of these guys.
I actually did the airship model as I
Oh wow.
Some of these models I did, the others were done by Hendrik Flober. He's our German modeler that was working with us at the time. We've now got Poliwick, that's a Philippine-based team that's been working with us on taking Beverly and working these concepts and turning them into the models that we're now implementing. They actually did the Wind Temple model that's in game now.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Let's see how the your opponents are doing.
Sure. So we can use it. Well, we could. Oh, lordy.
Yeah, look at all that. The pollution.
Dare they? They clearly haven't mastered the art of the poop cliff.
It's also fun. You get to watch and see where they're trying to lay down their.
Oh yeah, totally.
Their bridges.
You see the airship?
Yes. It looks beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
I love the airship. Boom. So if I remember correctly, the airship is more of like a scout
It can collect resources and it can take a lot more damage than the
Oh.
Sun Balloon. So it was like basically a heavy lift resource collector.
Well, we need 5 of them then.
Oh, you can see the AI's wind temple.
Yep.
You can see it's got the little tornado effect coming up from the wind temple.
Which kind of shows you, too, like, some of the effects and stuff that you guys are going to have in the game.
Right. And as you can see, that wind temple is the one that we got in the new video that has all the effects. And if you zoom in on it, you can see that it's actually very detailed. It's got, like, the little ribbon wind streamers on. There's the little ropes between the thing. Those would eventually be blowing in a breeze.
Oh, cool. Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Yeah, that's really neat. The details!
It looks it's amazing. It's so cool to see, like, childhood memories kind of reimagined.
Now you just need to blow it up.
Yeah. No, you don't need to blow it up.
If you bridge up to the island, you can test out the attack units, and I would suggest using the Sun Cannon and the Whirligig.
I'm so glad when I saw the Whirligig back in here, too. That made me so happy.
To answer Craig's question, yes, there will be customizable map sizes from various to medium to large size. And the first Netstorm, there was no map editor for creating single-player map missions, but then I think it was like around 99 to 2000 that the community actually found that there was indeed a map editor. It was just turned off in-game, and with a few... I guess there was like a few lines that you changed in the one text document, turned the editor on. So that actually, you know, if they released it with that, even the debuggy map editor when they released it at, you know, at the time, it would have really helped the community.
Yeah.
You had like a fixed amount of single player missions you could do, and then it all went to multiplayer. So when people finally found out about the map editor, the community for a time exploded with people creating custom missions, you know, single player maps. So we're currently focusing on getting out this multiplayer build Steam release, and then we'll eventually be slowly adding on to it with features as we go on, with adding in more multiplayer building options, and then adding in the map editor, so people will be able to create their own multiplayer maps besides just the random generation maps.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny that they would just leave that out when it could have been a very...
Yeah, that's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at it back, you know, in the 90s, modding community was just starting to come into being, you know, with games like Quake, Half-Life, and Unreal.
Yeah, that's true.
So when the publishers were releasing games, they weren't, you know, really thinking about, well, you know, people are going to want to create content and stuff, or have the ability to create content. So there wasn't the big push to add user community creation support like there is today.
Crazy people.
If you look at Bethesda's games, with games like Oblivion, Fallout, you know, they're like, you know, real major friendly for the user community to create content, and that's one of the reasons they've done so well, is that they've really supported, you know, user content creation.
Very true.
Who started that? Who realized that first and foremost?
Valve was a big one.
Yeah, I kind of felt that.
Id was like one of the
Id
first
was huge.
people that really pushed to release mapping tools to the community to start allowing creation beyond the standard game release content.
Just because I can.
The other reason that the first Netstorm, you know, died out like it did was, first it had being released alongside Age of Empires, like was a real bad decision. They released it during the holiday season. The other thing was when they released the demo of the game, at the same time, people also found out when it was released that with the change of the code in the one document, you could unlock the full version.
Oh, brutal.
So the studio, instead of making money from the sales of the game, they lost out like a major, because there were like so many people that unlocked their game without buying the full version.
Wow. Okay, I think we're connected at some point here.
I don't know. It sort of looks like it is. It sort of looks like it is, but I'm not sure.
Shouldn't take too long for somebody to travel down there, right?
I think one way to find out is just keep adding the extenders.
Whoop.
Extender. Win.
Thank you, Astra.
Yeah, have a good night, Astra.
Have a good night.
So, do you think you could figure out if you've made it there in the next 6 minutes?
I'm trying to see if we can sacrifice the son of it.
If you just want to show the combat quickly, we could just create a new map with small islands next to each other.
Sure. Yeah, we can do that. Ooh,
save from having to bridge all the way across its span.
Declare a draw.
I have declared a draw.
Quick game. Is that to the end of the other? You might have to quit.
Yeah, that's okay. That's not a big deal. 30,000. I just want to.
Yeah, you did awesome.
Just want to point that out. Not a victory for you, son of a.
You brought this back. You brought it back. Man.
Oh, it is so nice to see Netstorm back in action, though. I mean, Disciples of the Storm. Sorry, my bad.
Right. So, with the...
So, small map.
Yeah, small map.
Large islands.
Large island.
And packet. Nope.
No.
No. You
go
want
for few.
Scarce.
Scarce. Oh, yes, I see.
Just
So
go right there.
Boop.
So that we can show the combat.
How fast can you do this, man?
We can take a couple extra minutes.
Yeah, I know. Oh, look at all those. Look at all those geysers you have on your...
Should we do rain? You want to try rain?
Do the wind tower.
Okay, yeah, wind. Oh, right, because it looks so nice. Thank you.
Stream's still paused, so waiting for the stream to update.
Wind, sun, fire.
With our powers combined.
As I was saying, there's a lot of stuff that we're looking to eventually implement, from the priest customization down to the future add-on of the ability for people to create maps for the game. But we're wanting to just, push out to get the initial build of Dots out on Steam and start growing a user community of people that are actively playing it, and then start adding in more features as we start getting feedback from the community.
I'm really excited. So again, if you want to relink it, if anybody's interested in checking out Disciples of the Storm for themselves, you can actually get in on their Indiegogo campaign right now.
Yeah, throw a couple of bucks that way.
Yeah. You will not be sorry.
Also, we'd love to have you back.
I'd love to come back and show a much more advanced build of the project.
Yeah, one of the things we love doing at the show here is having developers kind of show the game at different stages of development even. So I would love to have the chance to have you guys back.
Well,
multiple times.
I'm hoping, if we can just reach our funding goal for this Indiegogo and push out the new build, I'm hoping that we could do a live stream of a multiplayer build of the team versus you guys.
You make that happen.
So
you make that happen.
We're so good.
I actually, what would really be great is to come back with not just us, but some of the original Netstorm team that worked for Titanic and Activision from the time into community gang.
Totally. That'd be a lot of fun.
The early days of game development.
That would be so much fun. Sketches, my beard is getting serious. Thanks, Sketch.
Surfsburg. Surfsburg. Hey, you're using balloons to go. I guess it's still faster.
Well, the nice thing is too, once these are done, they'll find new geysers to go to.
Yeah.
Even if they're not on map. So. That's true.
Did you guys start the new street? Okay, there now. It's finally.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to bridge up to the enemy island, construct some sun cannons, and try, just show how the units attack. In Disciples of the Storm, units have directional range. Some units can attack in a circular, some in a T pattern. They can only attack along a certain line, and some have either a cone fire radius that they can fire and attack, anything that's inside that overlay. So it's really knowing where your enemy's defensibility or offensibility is to get the upper edge.
Very true. Which is, that's bang on how I remember it.
Yeah, what was I playing in '97? I know what's going on. I had a Nintendo 64. We didn't have a good enough PC to play anything except for
I didn't have a console.
Well, for you, console was the devil.
Hey, Chris is in chat.
Hello, Chris. We will be starting up with Pixelbots as soon as Average.
As soon as we get some awesome combat.
Yeah, as soon as Average makes it to the fighting, then we'll get then we'll move on to our next guest, which is Chris from Pixelbot Studios. As you can see from this T-shirt that I'm wearing, this is a T-shirt. See the T-shirt right there? It's a T-shirt.
Speaking of T-shirts, we've got promo T-shirts for backers on the project. We posted some screenshots of the T-shirt designs on the update section of the Indiegogo.
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
We've also got, it's a limited holiday print, 3D print of the new Sun Cannon design. It's in miniature. 3D print of the new Sun Cannon design that backers can get.
I want that so
well, then.
You can get one Steam key or DRM free copy of the game plus miniature.
Oh my god.
What's the how much does it cost to get the T-shirt?
And the miniature.
That's on the update page. Hold on, you got that. Says it there. $40 for the T-shirt and game.
He tried to block me. Can't block this.
You didn't get it.
There. Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Totally.
It doesn't look like it.
It's in there. It's under a rock.
It's under a rock. Is that okay? Is he gonna be able to do that? Did it connect? Did it do it?
Oop. Huh?
I think you should just connect your bridge to his, because it looks like you can. Can you do that? Can you connect bridges like that?
I can't see because the stream's stopped.
Sorry, can you connect to enemy bridges?
Yes, but you can only connect up to them, but not off of them.
Oh, okay.
You can link up with them, but after that, you can't build off them.
Oh my god, you have to go so far
You can
back.
use your power generator to melt down and blow up the enemy bridge segments. And
That's
then bridge
amazing.
through. If you construct the generator there and melt it down, you can show how each of the bridges actually is destructible, and over time the bridges will erode and fall down into the bathrooms below, like in the old game.
And you can you guys have some of those graphics in already.
Yeah, but currently some of them are a little buggy. When they released the latest version of Unity, it kind of messed up some of the code that we had implemented.
Oh, that's fair.
For some of the features, so we're still fixing some of the stuff since the recent Unity update.
That's fair.
That's the problem when porting to the latest versions of an engine.
Yeah. I need to figure out how to get more power over there quicker.
Now, you'll notice that if you're constructing stuff, you have that little power bolt comes from your temple and goes to the unit that's going to be constructed. If you don't want to wait for something to travel all the way from your home island's temple, when you construct something, if there's an outpost closer, the energy production bolt will come from the outpost instead of the temple.
Yeah.
So that saves a lot of time on waiting for stuff to be constructed.
Shoot, I'm already going over down.
Ooh. That fit. He's got mad APM.
Shoot, but it doesn't have the power. Get power.
Yeah, no, you did constructing that power.
You're not connected to that island.
Yeah, it's this one. It looks like it should be connected, but it's not.
Oh, God.
It's more like tower defense meets tower offense. You basically are trying to capture the enemy priest and bring him back to your island and offer him up to the gods that you follow. You know, it's kind of like tribal populace meets tower offense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's well said.
Okay, you're connected up to that island now.
Wait.
That looks like
Ding.
it.
Did I get it?
Did it work? Did it work? Did it? Nope. Still no. Jeez. This island does not want to be connected to. Shit. These connectors are being a dick right now. Connect, you bitch.
Yeah, that's right. You can use the keys to hot select the bridge segments.
Mm-hmm.
So something tells me Average is terrible at maze puzzles. No, he never got to play that sewer pipe game on Windows 3.1 when he was a kid,
Sewer pipe game?
where you had
Okay.
a time limit. You had to like connect pipes together, and you had to go for a certain amount of
Giant.
What?
Shh.
What? What? Did you do it?
Yeah.
Did you do it?
Get over it. Get
I'm
over it.
over
Get
it.
Get over it.
I'm over it.
Okay,
I'm way
good.
over it.
Be over
I'm
it.
above it.
Be over it more.
Past it.
You don't even know.
Do I? Actually, I don't. What are we talking about?
Exactly.
Don't worry about bridging up to the islands. You know, just bridge up to the enemy island. As I said, you don't need to construct on the islands. You can place the power generators off the side of your bridge segments.
Oh, right. I totally forgot about that.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Oh. Look at that.
All right,
wasted
this is
so
going to
much
go a lot
time.
quicker.
Average, you may be cool, but you're not ski-free cool.
Okay,
So
everybody
just
plays ski.
place the power generators and bridge up range and then show off the tech.
Also show off this sweet energy trying to find its way to the building that it needs to build.
Sorry, sir. All of our units got lost on the maze to the battle. In the maze. We were walking for 6 days. We couldn't find anything.
Boop.
You're almost there. You're almost there. You're almost ready to kick some ass. Look at the ghost go!
Whoop, 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 whoop. I think this is my favorite part so far.
Bong.
Oh yeah, bridged him there.
Oh no, my bridge fell off.
Your bridge is falling. Your bridge went limp.
You're a terrible person. You should feel bad.
That was bad, and you should feel bad, Ian. Oh,
Yeah.
there it goes. Oh, yeah, oh. Ooh, ah, ooh, yeah, ooh, ah. Nope, nope, maybe, nope, hey, what, maybe, not there, no, yeah, no.
You can only construct if there's a power generator in range. I can't see if you got
Oh,
power
there we go.
generator.
Yeah.
No.
And now
Got
it's
it.
time to murder.
Bros, get out, get away.
Just so you know, you're kind of gonna die if that ghost, comes. Nope.
Refreshing stream.
Weep, 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 weep. Oh, come on.
Craiger says, "Oh no."
There we go.
I'm getting sorry, unable to connect to chat. Reconnecting.
Oh boy, the wonderful world of Twitch.
Yeah, right? Haha. One of those should be done. That one won't be.
Can it turn?
Yay! There we go.
Does it turn or is it static?
Static. Yeah.
I'll see.
Here we go.
Poof! Oh, they're getting murdered.
Ah, they explode.
Get murdered. Oh, murdered. Oh, murdered.
I'm so excited.
You actually attacking now?
Yeah, well, defending, but yes. There.
There, you're ready.
I'm so ready right now.
You're so ready.
Right, we need to get some cannons because they shoot father.
And then put them in range and it shows the attack.
Nope.
Now, as I said, all units attacks, they have their different attack ability, which, it's knowing whether it's circular radius, direct line of fire, or a cone blast, shotgun blast radius.
You can't go behind their thing. You got some shit.
It's right now showing me an advertisement.
Oh, yay.
Well, at least you're connected. That's good.
Oh, look at it. Dun, 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 dun.
Watch the ghost. Watch the ghost fly.
If you guys hadn't figured it out, this is the equivalent of a Zerg rush in Netstorm.
One little ghosty goo.
To this crossbow.
Boop, beep, boop,
But-
beep.
As you can
Boop,
see,
beep.
the core engine is implemented, so we're not starting out from scratch on this game. Everything's basically implemented at this point for the core mechanics, and we're just now moving towards getting the content done for a release using our own IP that has nothing from the original game in it, that will be just all our faction created.
Mm-hmm.
And
Which is
we're also
super
going to be
exciting.
implementing new lighting and graphics to make the world come alive and look more visually vivid for players. Eventually, we'd be having it for rain islands. We'd have little ice and snow on them, and
That's
the little
so cool.
snow clouds over the islands, and storm faction islands would have like the thunder clouds, with the rumbling of thunder in them.
Cool.
Wonderful.
All right. that, I think, is going to bring this section to an end. So I just want to say thank you so much, Nate, for being on the show with us.
Yes, and thank you for coming on such a short notice.
Yes. And like we said, when you guys have a major update, or you just want to come back and hang out on the show, let us know, because we would love to have you guys back.
Definitely.
I'd love to come back. To Chris's question, yes, this is the Unity engine. We're currently working on a new build that will be in the latest Unity version, and we're hoping to start showcasing that in the coming months.
Awesome.
Okay. And everybody else, make sure to stay tuned, because we're going to have Lost Orbit with Chris, and I think Alex is coming
Possibly
up.
Alex, yeah.
We'll see. And we'll be back in about 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Bye.
Have a good one.
All right. I'm back. Giant left. Oh well. I'm gonna do the show now. This is Lost Orbit. I like this game. I'm just gonna take there. I'm being Harris. You'll meet Harris. He's awesome. Anyway, let's get Chris in the call, and maybe I can talk with someone.
What I missed?
Oh God, Giant's back.
Just give me a second.
Hello.
Chris, you broke me. Your Skype picture.
What's my picture?
Clint Eastwood
With no nose.
with no nose.
That's amazing.
Because a lot of people have no idea what the hell it is. It just scares them into, like, not going through with a phone call with me. Who is that? What's wrong with that person's face?
That's so good. Oh my God.
There's like a whole community of people that all they do is remove noses from celebrities.
Yep. Oh yeah, you can Google. I forget what it's called, but like the specific meme of it, and it's so good. We laugh at it a lot of times.
We did. We also laughed really hard at the wall smoth. The wall smoth meme.
Oh, wall smoth.
Wall
Right.
smoth.
Okay, Chris's audio is really
up.
low. We'll turn the game down.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
There's also there's a French. I forget. It's like a French governor. Surprised face from like 4 years ago.
Oh yeah.
I actually really like the Morpheus one.
The tiny face Morpheus. Yeah.
I'm gonna find this and post it. Hang on, here we go.
Yeah, that sounds good. All
My
right.
audio's real low? Okay, let me see what I can do here.
It was on our side. It was on our side. I should be able. I think
Oh,
I
was
should
it?
fix it. Yep.
Okay.
I gotta see this.
He looks like
I
a
gotta see
raisin.
this. Oh my god, those are so good.
Yeah. There's also a really good meme where somebody removes the teeth of celebrities on the red
Oh
carpet.
god.
So they're all like just these stupid like gummy smiles.
Ooh. All right. So welcome back, everybody.
Good start to the show.
Yeah, we're playing Lost Orbit, which on the stream looks like Low Orb, and we've got Chris from Pixelnuts in chat with us. How's it going?
Good. How's it going with you guys?
Good.
Good.
I'm sorry I took you away from the next generation.
What?
Yeah, you should apologize.
I'm really
Jeez.
sorry about that. I took him away from watching Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Well, you can feel bad about that, but it's also on Netflix.
Maybe that's where
Yeah,
he's
it's
watching
true.
it. Maybe he wanted to binge watch a season. Huh? Did you ever think of that?
So, Lost Orbit we've had on the show a bunch of times.
17 times.
Yeah, 17 to be exact. It's one of my absolute favorite games just because of the color and everything. I'm just going to play it.
Yeah.
Because we're just planning to really just shoot the shit tonight.
Yep.
Talk about things.
Well, that's
'cause-
the thing. I was going to say, we played this game a lot, and we've talked about it a lot, and I'm happy to answer any questions, but I'm also happy to just, like, hang out and chat about anything you guys want to talk about.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
we haven't
man.
really talked. Have we talked since
Since PAX? No. Well, I mean, emails and that. But.
Yeah. the
No,
last
probably
4
not. Just, like, here and
months.
there, but... Yeah.
So, I mean, let's start with the big one then. How was your guys' PAX? Because we saw you a couple times, but PAX is busy, so we only got to see you on the floor a few times.
Yeah, PAX is insane. We got a lot of traffic. It's always good because, like, I remember my first PAX, just kind of wondering what I was in for because it seemed like there was going to be a lot of people in this one building. So the first one we went to was in Boston. We went to PAX East, and yeah, they said something like 40,000 people or something like that came over the weekend.
Yeah.
And the peak that they had in it one day was, I don't know, somewhere around like 25,000 or something like that. So when it opened up the first day, everyone else knew what to expect, but I'd never been to a PAX before, and it was just this wall of people. It sounded like a zombie horde just kind of coming at us. There was just more people than I'd ever seen in one place in my life, aside from maybe a sporting event, but they weren't all walking towards me at once. And we just had people, like, right off the bat just, like, swarm our booth, and it didn't really stop until, the day was over. We had 2 stations set up, and they were just busy the entire 4 days. So, yeah, PAX is insane. It's a lot of fun. You kind of have to carve out a window of time to go eat and just sit down for a while.
Yeah.
I had a friend along with me who had never done a show before, but she did a bit of writing for Lost Orbit. And I asked her if she wanted to come along, and she did end up coming. And after the first day, I have a picture of her that's great. She's just, like, sitting on the floor with her head down, exhausted, drinking a bottle of water.
Oh.
And
She was at the booth when we were there too, I believe, no?
yeah, Brenda, yeah.
Yeah, Brenda.
Yeah.
She was awesome. She was really
She
nice.
is awesome. Really nice and really approachable. But I remember going up to her and being like, Brenda. She's like, what? I'm like, day 1. We got 3 more to go. You can't be tired yet. It's weird. It's like a canoe trip, right? Like, you start off, and the first day you're like, there's no way I'm going to make it through 4 days. And then you get kind of this superhuman strength after that where you're like, yeah, my knees are aching, and I'm starving, and I didn't sleep well last night, and I had too many beers, but you just keep going, so...
Yeah, thanks, Sketch. I think he's watching right now.
Yeah. Well, was it? I got. Okay, we didn't eat very much that day, and I got pretty drunk on like
Yeah, you
3
did.
ciders.
You and Sketch
Yeah.
you were slammed. Brandon and I were talking shop, and you two were just slammed.
And,
Well,
yeah,
that's the thing.
so
Stand all day, and you don't have much to eat, and then you go grab one beer at the mixer. You're like, this beer is just going right to me.
yeah, we just had we didn't even eat anything when we were there, did we? We just had drinks.
Yeah, because that was we met for lunch the next day.
Yeah, we had drinks.
So, yeah, we
and
just had
played,
drinks that day.
Super Fight.
Yeah, got drunk. And
Yeah,
played Super
sometimes
Fight.
people invite you to events too, and you're never sure which ones are going to have food.
Oh, right. That must be
I've
difficult.
done a couple events at GDC too, where it's like, they ask you to come around 5:30 or 5 o'clock, and you're like, oh, okay, there'll be something to eat. and there's just like 2 kegs and a vending machine.
I have to say, one thing that we weren't prepared for personally was, like, we've been doing this show for nearly 2 years now,
It'll be
which is
2
crazy.
years at the end of January.
And we've met a lot of devs, at least online, and we didn't really think about how many devs that is not online. So going to PAX, we knew 5 or 6 people were going to be there. And, like, you guys were one of them. We were really excited to see Lost Orbit while we were there. But we got, like, stopped probably a dozen times. We got people asking for pictures with us and all that kind of stuff by probably like 20, 30 games, like sets of devs. So it was crazy. So we're thinking maybe next time we'll do like a dinner with the Giants.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea, you know, just have like one thing where you can see everyone at once. It's so hard, especially with, like if you worked at a large company and then left, a lot of the times you'll know a lot of people at different companies, and trying to get around to all the booths to see everyone is hard.
Oh yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, I had some friends that were showing off a game up on the 3rd floor or 4th floor, and I didn't even know how to get up there for the first 2 days. And then the next 2 days, it was like trying to get an hour to go up there and hang out with them and stuff like that. I finally made it up and saw them, but it was like, it's a lot of work, you know? Like, you don't...
Yeah, it was a good thing that Average was around, because if he wasn't around, then I'm sure I would have actually missed half the convention, because I had no idea. Like, in order to get to some levels, you have to go up an escalator and down another one.
Yeah, that was my second PAX, but my first as media. So that was also strange. It was fun though.
Yeah. Did you get random people coming up to you at all?
Yes, because I had the yellow badge. Oh, the heralded yellow badge. We can show it. I've got it behind me. I'm not gonna worry about it. Anyway, the media badge. But yeah, we had so many random people. We like just come and like 3-second elevator pitch. I've never heard such fast talkers. I swear, some of the people at PAX like hired auctioneers to try and grab media as they pass by.
Yeah, we had when we went to PlayStation Experience, we had a guy that we had just hired who's a 3D artist, and he ended up coming with us. And it was kind of slow at one point, and I said, the guy's name's Vince, and I said, okay, Vince, I'm giving you a job. Basically, walk around the floor. Anybody you find with a press pass, just pull him over and be like, hey, play my game, and give him the 5-second pitch, right?
Yep.
And it's amazing how many times like people get lost in the grandness of a hall like that, and they're not really sure what to focus on and play.
Oh,
just
totally.
by walking up to them and being like, play my game. They're like, okay. The decision just seems to be made for them, and they don't have to think about it. So
I can play
it actually
games?
works.
I know that your press pass did give us some line cuts, which was nice.
Yeah.
Like, keep talking and nobody explodes. The line was, what, 2 hours for that? We were...
No, it was 4-hour line.
4-hour
whole weekend.
lineup, and we got to just... they gave us
They
the time.
scheduled, yeah.
Unfortunately, we were all hungover, but...
And then my nice press hour I didn't get to do.
Yeah, it was your fault, okay?
No, what? You didn't have a phone.
It didn't matter.
You said, I don't have a phone. I don't know how to get around here.
Well, I said I would meet you somewhere, and you're like, oh, I'll just hang out with you.
Because I knew how big that place was. You hadn't gotten in there before. You said, I'll meet you somewhere. That's not going to
We would
work.
have found each other eventually.
How? That's like looking for a lost kid at Disneyland, dude.
I would just
That
be
was
like,
dark.
Carol?
That was darker than I meant.
Carol?
Yeah. You see my friend Nick?
He looks like...
He's a Canadian. Oh yeah, I know where he is.
He's a redhead with a mohawk.
Nope.
He has a really weird Canadian accent.
That was fun though. So, I mean, after PAX, you guys have already launched. You've had a pretty successful launch, I want to say. Like, I know you guys are a larger studio than usually a lot of the like 2-person dev teams that we have on. So,
Yeah,
what did you guys do after?
I mean, we started as one when we started working on this game.
Yep.
But we kind of built our team over the course of making it, and you know, we're under a dozen people right now. But yeah, I mean, like critically, I think it was pretty successful. Like, we got a lot of great reviews for it.
Yeah.
But I think that you're always trying to get the word out there and get more people to play the game, and it's difficult these days. There's a lot out there. There's a lot on sale, and I think even for an independent developer these days, with sales on AAA games, like you can look at, a AAA game that's a year old or something like that might go on sale for $15, and then you're kind of in direct competition with a AAA game at that point.
Yeah. Well, we were just chatting with the Disciples of the Storm there. Like, when the original game came out, it was the same weekend that Age of Empires came out. So they're like, yeah, that kind of impacted our sales back in the day.
Yeah.
Did you guys end up seeing Markiplier? I remember you were really hoping he'd come by the booth.
Yeah, I kept, I don't know, I've been working on some weird marketing strategies to try and get people's attention. And so, as I was showing you guys, my strategy to try and meet up with some larger YouTubers was to, like, Photoshop them in really weird photos.
It was so good.
So I had several. I basically spent, the first hour of every day for a week just Photoshopping people and, like, tweeting at them. And so I rehashed all those at PAX and tried to get them out there, and that didn't work. I went to the Game Grumps talk as well, and thinking really stupidly that, they'll probably have a Q&A afterwards or something. I'll just go up to the stage and, like, chat with those guys, because it's really, effective at GDC. Mm-hmm. And I get there, and it's like a full-on theater with 3 floors. And they're only pushing people up into the mezzanine because there's no room. And I'm sitting there with like 2 game codes on cards. I'm like, how the hell am I going to get these guys to play my game? And so for a brief second, I kind of thought maybe I'll just make some paper airplanes and sail them down off the mezzanine and try and bean one of them in the head while they're on stage. And like maybe they'll pick it up and be like, oh, cool. But I'm like, no, chances are it'll fall in the audience, or they'll get it and be like, man, what an asshole. He hit me in the face, crumple it up, and like just throw it away or something. So it's not going to work. But it's funny, as I was leaving, I was walking around the block and I ended up like running into them as they were leaving the building. And kind of spoke to them briefly and gave them some codes, and they said they'd check it out and stuff too. So
that's
I don't know. It's hard, right? Like,
yeah.
With any kind of streaming, there doesn't seem to be a lot of middle ground. You're either like, you're kind of starting out, or you're huge.
Yeah, nobody.
And so, the people who are starting out are like really nice and approachable and easy to talk to and stuff like that. And not that the people that are on top aren't nice or approachable, but they get approached by everybody.
It's a lot harder for them, I find. Yeah.
Yeah, like they can't really even just walk around a show like PAX without getting mobbed.
I was watching the PewDiePie. I was watching his like video compilation of his PAX video, and he had like him and his group, because he was with a bunch of other YouTubers, had like a group, an entourage of PAX guards, like security, surrounding them as they were walking through the hall. I was like, when did we get to that point with this like online stardom?
When they got to that point when they realized he had to move 3 times to get away from stalkers.
Yeah, but it's crazy to think that.
It's celebrity. He is surpassed the realm of YouTube.
What I'm saying is, it's not just him.
Yeah. And then of course there's Markiplier, who's just standing there, middle of the sidewalk, just waiting for somebody.
He was incognito at PAX though.
He was
dressed as Cry.
Yeah.
He's so funny. We happened to run into a couple of people. Yeah. And one of them was Egoraptor from the Game Grumps.
Got
He's really
so
nice.
lucky with just randomly seeing these people, and then they were nice enough to take pictures and talk with us for a little bit.
Yeah, and we talked to one person. We talked to Markiplier's friend Bob about our channel. Yeah, because he's really interested in indie games, and he's saying about how he respects the developers and wishes that he could do his YouTube channel off of like just indie to give them more exposure that they need and that kind of stuff. But it's hard because everybody needs the exposure, and so many people deserve it.
If you give everybody the exposure, you're not really giving anyone exposure, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's this monumental torrent of games, and nobody really wants to filter through it all, right? Everyone just wants their friend to tell them what the good games to play are.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. Oh, man.
You know, we go back to this game so often, and I'm mesmerized by it every time.
I know. It never stops being good.
Although I don't
Thanks,
ever been
guys.
into
It's nice of you to say.
No worries. Would you mind linking on Steam, John?
Already do.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because if you guys want to check this game out, it is worth every penny. I don't know, are you guys part of the Steam Winter Sale?
Yeah, us and the 10,000 other games on sale.
Yeah, I saw that. They're like this and like 10,009 other titles on sale. Really?
Yeah. The funny thing is that even that little banner that they have that's like, yes, that's right, 10,000 games, is like auto-generated. Because I noticed that some of the games like were off sale like right after Christmas.
Oh,
and
yeah.
all of a sudden that banner adjusted to 9,672 or whatever, right? And I don't know, like from a consumer's point of view, Steam is amazing, right? Like there's so much on Steam. There's so much opportunity for sales and to get a lot of games at a cheap price. For a developer, it's like it's kind of this shooting in the dark type situation, trying to navigate it and promote yourself on it.
Yeah.
And, I really don't think that they want to spend man hours like sorting and grading games. They really want to make sure that the community does that for them. And just because of the way that's set up, there's potential for like a lot of great games to get lost, which is sad, but I don't know. At the same time, like I said, I think it's a great place for the consumer. Like I love Steam as a consumer. It's just terrifying and frustrating as a developer.
That is very well said.
Well, yeah, that's also kind of why we started this show, is because there are so many really good games just kind of getting lost in the whole skirmish of...
Yeah, how many people do you think pay attention to our Steam curation?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think a lot of people follow even Steam. Like, what I was just saying in the chat window is that I never feel like I'm lacking for games. Like, I always have friends telling me, oh, this game's coming out, you should check this one out, that one out.
Yeah, I've got that problem.
Some of the big websites and streamers and stuff like that, it's like, I never feel like I have to go looking for games. And that probably means that I'm missing out on some really great games, but it's like, I don't know many people at all that go through their queue, or follow curators, or go through Greenlight constantly.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like, it's there and some people do it, but you're looking at a diminishing percentage of people that are going to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like it was kind of an admission on Valve's part that it's not working, that during the Steam sale they were trying to force people to go through their queues by like giving away cards for the sale.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like they kind of have to motivate people to find, part of it is like Steam, some of the features of it are kind of hidden, or it's not really consistent with where they are all the time. Mm-hmm. So there's always things that I don't even know about on Steam. But yeah, part of it is just like, they really need to motivate people to get outside their comfort zone and get into these curation services, I guess. So I don't know.
It's a difficult spot for gaming really right now, because I know game development is the number one like industry in the States right now, where not the best paying or anything like that, but by far the most popular. And so you've got the most amount of people in that industry making an incredible amount of games that are good, bad, everywhere in between, on this like rising comet that is the gaming industry. And the last time we had something even similar to this would have been in 1983.
Which is a bad thing.
Which is, when the video game industry completely crashed and nearly died until Nintendo came to pick up the slack.
This is when Atari kind of shit the bed, right?
Yeah, this is exactly when Atari shit the bed with the ET game. And one of the big problems, I did an article on this on my site, my blog that nobody reads. No, it's fine. I'm fine with it. But it's where there was no proprietary pieces of games. So you'd have I did the example of, like, there was Frogger, there was Road Toad, there was Frog Hopper, there was Frog Road, and then there was another Road Toad. Both the same name, but because there's no kind of copyrights for gaming, it completely crashed because there was too much choice for people. All the games ended up in the bargain bin, much like Steam sales and what you need to do to sell on Steam nowadays. And the entire industry crashed to the point that everybody thought that it was gone, that video games were this fad. And then Nintendo brought out the NES system that had a proprietary chip in it, so only Nintendo games would work on it, which is what made it different. And that's that's where, like, we kind of clawed our way back. But we're right on the cusp of where we were like 30 years ago right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously not going anywhere, but
there's
a lot of people that are kind of rushing into the industry because it is attractive. You know, it seems. I think people from the outside think that it's a lot more fun and a lot less work than it actually is.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, you have a lot of passionate people, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I think that's actually really good. But yeah, I think you're going to see a bit of a shift in it where there's only going to be a certain number of people that can make a living off of it, and who knows if the number of eager up-and-comers is going to be enough to supplement the people who, you know, aren't making enough to live and eat, right?
Do you think everybody who's joining is kind of like, you know, they watch Indie Game the movie and they're like, I'm going to have the next Super Meat Boy make $1 million.
Indie Game the movie pushed me to do the whole average gamer thing. I'll say that.
Yeah? Well, here's the thing that I always say. There's a good, like, you should have a good understanding before you release your game if it's going to be a success or not.
Yeah.
From what I can tell, you look at these games and they, like, before they're out, they get nominated for awards and win. Everyone's talking about them constantly, even when there's not really many updates happening. It just seems apparent when something's going to kind of be a classic, like, right off the bat. And they just release to instant acclaim, and, like, they're on the top of the list on Steam and stuff like that. It's just like they're in a position of success before anyone's played it.
Very, very true.
And that, to me, kind of just lets me know, like, oh, well, marketing is hugely important, even for a small game now. So.
Speaking of small games.
Yeah.
DGCast is asking, is the deluxe edition of Lost Orbit on Steam the Game Plus soundtrack?
Yes, it is. If that's not explained on there, I'll definitely update that. Yeah. Yeah, when we were putting together our deluxe edition, we're like, okay, cool, what's all the stuff we're going to include on this? We got a soundtrack. All right, let's just make it a couple bucks more.
yeah, that's fair. Can you buy the soundtrack individually? I ask for reasons.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, good. So I'm not sure if I have it or not. So I need to.
Yeah, I mean, I told you guys this last time that we had you on the show, but.
But I'll reiterate, I guess.
I'll let
Is that where you're going?
Know
Is that where you're going with this?
Back in June, I had one of the worst days of my life. And what I did to overcome that, because I just needed something to calm me down and help me relax, I threw this game on and just soared through space.
Just zened out.
Yeah, had my headphones on and just, it helped me relax a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I'm glad. That makes me feel better.
And it's a nice game because not only can you take this game nice and slow and just enjoy the scenery, the music, have fun, you can also speedrun it.
Yep.
You can also go full crazy on this game because you go very fast.
Go very much full crazy. Ooh.
Yes, Lost Orbit helped me on one of the worst days of my life.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I like hearing these little stories, right? Like the anecdotes are probably one of the best parts of game creation. I think I told you guys this before, but one of the reviews we got was from a small independent site. And the lady that reviewed it played the entire game on a MacBook. I don't remember if it was an Air or a Pro. I wanted to say it was an Air.
Awesome.
On the keyboard. And she platinumed the entire game. And she kind of has this little... I wish I had the link to it. I would post it, but she has this little anecdote where she talks about her weekend with the game and, you know, holing up in her bedroom and just going at this thing and repeatedly having her roommates come in to check on her and make sure she was okay, because it was just like an endless string of profanity followed by lots of key clacking. And she's like, I'm fine, get out, trying to do something. And just a part of it all, and I was just like, wow, I can't believe that somebody had such a positive, if not kind of crazy experience, you know, with a game that I made. And also just that, like, it's such a great story in someone's life. Like, that's the kind of stuff that made us want to get into games in the first place, is because we have those stories from when we were young about games that, you know, we really, really enjoyed.
Yeah.
When I was at PAX Prime, the guys in the booth next to us previously worked at Shiny Entertainment.
Oh, wow.
And one of the guys was one of the designers on Citizen Kabuto and also on MDK. And I had this full-on, like, fan meltdown because I love MDK so much.
Yeah, rock on, Chris.
Yeah, man. Not only because it's, like, crazy and weird, but also just because, like, had really solid gameplay and, like, even the slide sections were something that I constantly thought about when we were making this game. Like, just the ability to boost or to slow down to get, like, a better turning radius, and kind of like the whole risk-reward of speed versus agility.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's cool, and I think people really appreciate that. When we were at PSX, I met the guys who worked on You Don't Know Jack, and told them the same thing. Yeah, I played your games, like, you know, back when I was 13 over at my friend's place. We'd, like, swim all afternoon and then come inside and play You Don't Know Jack for like 4 hours. But yeah, it's cool. Like, everybody wants the critical and commercial success, but, like, those stories are what makes me feel the best, honestly.
I like
and
that.
Then, similarly, when somebody picks up your game and doesn't get it at all, and is terrible at it, and you can just tell they're being frustrated and not having a good time, that's the worst feeling in games development. Like, I spent so many hours and so many late nights trying to build this piece of entertainment, and it's just causing pain.
I did not mean for this. You would not be good in, what's the team name? Three Drunk Men.
Oh yeah, Vanish.
Yeah. They're the exact opposite. They like putting things in their game to purposefully confuse and frustrate their players.
You know, I'd say that's kind of like a sort of a horror thing.
I think so, yeah. Well,
Because
I mean,
horror-
that's
horror
kind of
games
like
are-
the rich king, like, fucking with his peasants, right?
yeah, very much.
In some cases, you can convince the peasants that you're on their side, but I remember playing Stanley Parable and feeling like that.
Huh.
You know, when they're messing with you, I was just like, wait a minute, I paid you.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to mess with me for your enjoyment.
I still enjoy a good tongue-in-cheek game like that.
No, I love that game. It's really cool and really creative, especially since I played Gone Home afterwards and learned what a walking simulator really was. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, I feel like you guys are lucky that everybody really likes you, because that game could have, like, a really negative effect on people.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Speaking of walking simulator, I'm about to give
Okay.
a beginner's guide a chance.
Before we go on that, the question in chat from Craig. What do you think about special categories at Video Game Awards for indies? Do you think it helps the audience by showcasing indies by themselves, or do you think we're beyond that point and that indies deserve to be ranked with AAA developed games? Personally, I think that we're in a gray area. We have a lot of AAA games that are looking like indies purposefully, and vice versa, where we aren't limited by the tools available to indie developers, so that you don't have that indie look anymore. That being said, I do find that a lot of times the indie community is kind of a thing of its own, where we know people in the indie community, and all those people know people in the indie community who are all usually the same person. And it's kind of interconnected like a small family that way. That being said, I mean, personally, I don't see why a game like, what should I use for example? If I say Minecraft or Bastion, I'll get lynched. But where indie games could easily stand it. Well, actually, a good one is, I think, Undertale is indie-ish, and it was like in the running for best game of the year. And all the reviews I have are like game of the year, blah 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 blah, beating out things like Witcher and Fallout.
Yeah.
So, the definitely potential. I don't think there's any reason that indies can't be in there. There's no reason that 3 guys can't make a product as good as 1,000 guys. Just look at Halo 5.
Wah, wah.
What do you guys think?
I think it's nice that we have a category, but I do agree that it's kind of becoming a bit of a broad spectrum. We just went to the Canadian Video Game Awards. We were nominated for Best Indie Game.
Oh,
and looking at some of the games, like the division between what's considered AAA and what's considered independent has a lot less to do with budget now, and it kind of seems like it's more to do with genre almost.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the time of a side scroller being able to win Game of the Year is just gone. Like it might get a lot of credit, but it's just not. It's never going to be considered on the same level as The Order or something of that caliber. It's just like you have to kind of boldly declare your budget through your graphics to be considered AAA these days, which is weird.
That's very true. But that being said, too, like Bastion was published by Warner Brothers, and I mean they've got painted, painterly graphics, but by no means would most people think it's a AAA. A lot of people think it's like the king of indies, but like Warner Brothers paid for that.
Right.
I would think that if I was, never between AAA and indie, I would have thought that Broken Age would be AAA just based on the voice acting.
Well, yeah, right. And Double Fine itself is its own little kind of pocket of gray area that started as indie and got really popular because they deserved to, and now they're becoming AAA themselves.
Well, here's my interpretation of the whole situation. The way I see it, AAA is kind of gone. Like, what people call AAA now, I would call quadruple A. Because the studios that were making... Sure. The studios that were making AAA games, for the most part, one of two things happened. They went out of business, or they got bought out by a large publisher. Or they're so successful that they are a large publisher.
Yeah.
Those small, well, I say small, those 100 person studios don't exist anymore. And if they do, it's very rare. So really, when you have companies like Double Fine, the stuff that they're making, it just seems like the indie spectrum just kind of expands to fill everything less than a $500 million game.
Yeah, exactly. If it's, I find AAA nowadays needs to have the same budget as a Hollywood film, your Call of Duties or your Halos.
Oh yeah, if not way more, right? You can make a Hollywood film on probably a couple $100 million.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of Call of Duty and GTA are probably the most expensive, and you're looking at I think $460 million for GTA 5.
Yep.
I think, and almost 1,000 people working on it.
I think the new Star Wars set the precedent for amount of money it needed to break even at $1.5 billion.
And they'll make it easy.
They made $527 million worldwide the first weekend. So
the first weekend.
Yeah.
And that's not including the Chinese market, which starts at the beginning of January, which is the largest market in the world.
But we're getting off topic.
Yeah. Just looking back here, Gregory,
yeah. Craigie Ham.
About Cuphead as well. And I think got a lot of attention for being very different. But I think that there's a lot of people, we talk about it a lot at work, but there's a huge demographic of people who have maybe 2 games in their repertoire, and they just kind of upgrade year to year. And typically the ones that I see are, I have the latest Call of Duty and I have the latest whatever sports game.
I was gonna say Madden or NHL
or FIFA or whatever,
yeah.
right? And those types of people, like, I don't want to overly generalize because there's all sorts of gamers, right? But there's a large audience of people who look at that and are like, if it's not Call of Duty, if it's not like the latest greatest FPS, it's not a real AAA game.
Yeah.
And to those types of people, they don't, on their first impression of something like Cuphead, they're not going to jump in and try and play it, right? Like, they're just not at that level. And I can understand, and I relate to it too. Mm-hmm. So, like, I'll tell you one little story. When I was a kid, I remember watching people playing tactics games, and I didn't get it at all. I'm like, this doesn't look fun. Nothing's happening. You're just kind of telling them what to do, and then they do it. Like, where's the entertainment in that?
Oh, I see.
There's the easiest games to digest in terms of value of entertainment from just watching them, I think, are games like Call of Duty, because you can look at it and you get it right away. Or a sports game, you look at it and you get it right away. Okay, I get the goal, I get what I'm supposed to do, I know who my character is and what I'm doing. But when you play games that are more tactics driven or different, a lot of it's in your imagination, especially in terms of like tactics and RTS. And the strategy and all that is what's interesting. But how do you show a screenshot that shows strategy? You can't do that.
No.
So trying to draw people in and play it, once they get into it, they'll like it, but trying to draw people into it becomes difficult.
I think I know exactly what you mean with that, because like when he was playing Mega Man Battle Network and Final Fantasy Tactics, I was just like,
Thanks for dropping that. Now they all know I play fucking Mega Man Pokemon. Jeez.
Well,
anyway.
I would watch it and I'm just like, this isn't Mega Man.
Yeah, but damn, was that a good game.
I saw it. I was like, I can't get into this.
That happens even now. And sorry, two things. One thing that I find funny is strategy is hard to market. It's even the successful ones. You look at StarCraft; they market StarCraft on bullshots. Like, I never see gameplay in those commercials. I see their cutscenes, and I find that's what they market it on. That and their own name, obviously.
Well, just look at those mobile games right now.
That was my second one. A lot of people don't consider mobile games games. A lot of people say, "Are you a gamer?" And they're like, "Yeah, I am." What do you play? Farmville. You're not a gamer. You don't own a console.
Which is the same attitude as those people who play Call of Duty, and if you don't play Call of Duty, then you don't play games.
Yeah.
My mentality is, and I had somebody ask me this, right? I had somebody asking people around the room, do you play games, whatever, and a few of the girls said no, and then he asked them, he's like, well, you don't play anything? Like, you don't play mobile games? And then one of them's like, yeah, okay, I play puzzle games. And then some of them play board games. And then, some of them play like Scrabble or something like that. It's like everybody as a society loves games. We all play games, we all play sports. And there seems to be like this big disconnect amongst some people in attitude where they think that once you transition from board games to electronic games, that you're a nerd or, that's not cool or it's a waste of time or something like that. And it just seems to me like something that supplements the gaming culture, right? And I think everyone plays games. Even my mom plays games. My mom plays puzzle games, and she loves Pictionary and stuff like that. I was showing her Drawful when we got the Jackbox Party Pack, and she's like, "This is great." She loves it. So
I've brought up in a couple blogs too, just perspective and what you think perspective is. So, like with this one, we're talking about like what makes a gamer. And another one that I always invite people to talk about for perspective is, what do you think is geekier between, I always say, Harry Potter, Star Trek, or Star Wars? What's geekier and why?
Yeah.
That's a hard one to answer.
I get different answers all the time because people perceive it differently.
Yeah.
But one person that perceives Harry Potter as the geekiest is like, oh, I don't read those books because of blah, 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 and it's so geeky. Another person will say the same thing about Star Trek. So a lot of that is based off your own personal perspective. So where do we draw the line to define what is and isn't? Or do we need to?
you get a lot of people who won't try something just because they don't like the subculture that goes along with it.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, for you to have a fan base, people are going to generalize about your fan base. So I think that comes with it. But just looking at Gregory's comment, he said when he first saw Luftrausers, it looked stupid to him, and he was completely uninterested. But Nuclear Throne, he really got into, and I found there was solid gameplay in that. Another example I can give is Nidhogg.
Oh yeah.
Looking at Nidhogg in screenshots, I was like, I don't get it. I don't understand why this is getting so many nominations for.
I thought it was Prince of Persia.
Whatever.
When it first
and
came
I'm
out.
like, what an ugly pig of a game. But then I played it, and because I got recommendations from people, I'm like, yeah, I'll try this game out. Who cares, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, this game's awesome. Like, it has very simple mechanics, but they nest so well together. It's great, and the fact that it kind of looks like old and weirdly artifacty kind of like adds to the whole immersion of it in a weird way. But yeah, there's been a lot of games like that you just don't get until you play it. FTL was another one like that for me. Where looking at it, I'm like, this looks quite boring. But once I started to get into it, I'm like, yeah, it's really cool. I dig it a lot. So I don't know.
Still happen to me, like more than I even want to admit. Where I'll look at a game and go, "Oh, it looks terrible. I don't want to play it," kind of thing. Even though I'm pretty deep into indie games at this point.
I think that there's so many games out there. It's hard not to be like quick to judge what games are out there because nobody has time, right? Everybody has more games than they have time.
That's so true.
Yeah.
It never
Actually,
used to be the case.
Nidhogg story too. We ran into some Nidhogg cosplayers at PAX Prime, and at first I'm sitting there, I'm like, "What is going on?" I'm not sure what I'm seeing here. And then I'm like, "Oh, it's Nidhogg. That makes total sense." So they had the Green Man style suits, but they had the yellow and the orange. They pull the heads right up over their faces, and then the one guy was just squat jumping with a sword at the other lady. It was pretty funny.
That's amazing.
I think the next cosplay I'll do is just Gentlemanly Dispute. Just
Oh yeah, I would love to do that. I have the
attack
top
each
hat.
other with top hats.
I have the top hat. Another cosplay I want to do is Zangief.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Right? I could pull it off pretty well.
There, you got the hair.
Might need a little chest wig.
Yep.
Chest Merkin.
What are they? Yeah, Merkin. Merkin.
Nice little tufty merkin.
Yeah.
Oh.
Cute little tufty chest Merkin. That's cosplay in class right there. Ooh. I'm impressed that I've been able to actually play this game and have a conversation
Yeah.
and make progress. Not fast progress, but I've made progress.
Yeah, it's tough. There was a couple times at a couple shows where I was on streams and I was just concerned about handing off the controls to someone who hadn't played before if I was just going to answer questions because if you're not good at this game, it can look extremely frustrating.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a matter of putting yourself into it for a while, and then once you get the controls, you can kind of flow a little bit more nicely.
Yeah, if you start a player off too far into the game, then it could be a major issue, but...
Yeah. I've actually been playing a lot of Dirt Rally recently. I got it for Christmas.
Cool.
And, my god, does that game make me feel like I'm playing Lost Orbit. It's, I've never played a racing game where I feel constantly out of control, where I'm like always just on the edge of the knife, like about to, flip over 3 times and hit a tree. Constantly. And the weirdest thing about it is like the reinforcement in that game is like I'll be like crushing a track in my opinion, or I'm like, oh man, I almost died 50 times during that section. And then I look at it, it's like, oh yeah, you're 5 seconds too slow. Like, come on, man.
Really?
Throw me a bit of a bone. And they have the best like sectional system where if you don't beat the first place time, it colors it like bright red, like like full on failure. Right? And then from there, it's like it transitions to green based on how much faster you are than the fastest person in the race. It's like it's like a really a parent with really high expectations is just like continually disappointed in you.
I saw a good article. Sorry, we're already over time. I'll say the last couple things, but I saw a good article about games that had negative reinforcement to try and push people to like either play more or increase the longevity of their game. But even like Turtles in Time, I don't know if you guys have played through it, but when you beat Turtles in Time, if you beat it on easy or normal, it's like, oh, that was good, but if you want to be a true ninja, try it on a real difficulty. And then it's like there's hard mode and stuff like that. Some games are mean.
Well, it's just like all the games that unlock easy mode if you die too many times. I had a couple of those.
Yeah. Did you guys ever play Explosion Man?
Yes.
Explosion Man had the best negative reinforcement. If you beat a level, like after you die a certain number of times, it'll allow you to skip the level. But if you do, your character wears a tutu until you go back and beat it. So it's just like completely rubbing your face in it. But, yeah, I love that. And it's just like, okay, no, I'm beating this. I'm not dealing with your insulting developer insults.
A subtle one. I mean, it's not that subtle, but Peachy's starting a Dark Souls 2 series on his stream.
Yeah.
We were playing it today, and I played Demon Souls back in the day, and I played Dark Souls. I played Bloodborne, but I haven't played 2. And we get into it, and it was... What was it? We were just going along in the first thing, and I screw up, take a hit, screw up, take another hit. I'm like, oh shit. I end up dying pretty early in, and it's like, achievement unlocked. This is Dark Souls. And it's just the developers punching you in the gut as you see the you're dead screen, and you're just like, you son of a bitch, I'm going to sit here for 6 hours and beat this game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard with stuff like that. You have to have, even if it's appearing to be negative reinforcement, you have to have some sort of positive reinforcement as well to get people to get angry enough that they're going to get through it. I felt the same way with Trials. When you got into the extreme levels, you're like, and you max out on retries, and you have to like start the game over again or start the level over again. It's so frustrating, but at the same time, you're just like, you just want to beat it so that you can get the A grade and then staple it to their stupid foreheads. There, I beat it. Eat me.
That's what always keeps me going in Super Meat Boy. I've played through that game like 2 or 3 times now, and it's always that feeling like dead, go again, dead, go again, dead, go again, and then Emma's always like, look at all your little meats, that's cute. When I beat it, I'm like, shut up, I have to go to the next level. I don't care.
Yeah, for sure.
So I guess that since we're nearing the end of this, what are your plans for the future?
Well, we're working on the next game.
Exciting.
You know, obviously, I really wanted to do some expansion stuff for Lost Orbit, but I feel like it's probably gonna. I don't know. Just as a first game, it doesn't seem to have like a large kind of word of mouth.
Yeah.
So we wanted to start on the next game. We'd already like done a little bit of a prototype while we were still working on Lost Orbit. So we're kind of in the midst of that, and I'm hoping that when that comes out, people start looking into the backlog a little bit if it does well.
Oh, totally.
And maybe breathe a little bit of life into Lost Orbit, because we had some ideas actually when we first started making the game that we wanted to do kind of the extended universe beyond the end of this game. And
it has quite an established
like
setting.
some multiplayer stuff too, but
that'd be cool.
So will the new game be a part of the Lost Orbit?
We don't need to know anything.
Oh yeah, I guess
We will hopefully
I can't talk about it much. It is different. It's entirely new. It has nothing to do with Lost Orbit.
That's all I want.
If and when you guys are ready,
Yeah.
To be on the show, if you want to be on the show, just let us know.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, yeah.
Smash.
Yeah, it's got the same kind of fast-paced, flowing controls. That's something that, as a company, we've decided we want in all of our games.
To be kind of signature?
Yeah. So,
fair.
I don't know, things that we really hate is uninterruptible moves. Like, basically, whenever you know you're going to die and there's nothing you can do about it, but you have to play it 5 seconds.
Yeah.
This is the worst thing in games. So that's something that we always try and make sure that you can always interrupt whatever you're doing and everything is smooth and flowing. So that's definitely going to be in the next game. It is an action game, so there will be fighting, unlike this game. And yeah, I mean, that's probably all I want to say at this point. Like,
Cool.
It's not far enough along that I want to show anything, but we'll be showing something next year, and I think people are really going to dig it. So we'll see. And if they don't, then whatever. On to the next thing.
Yeah, totes. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I just want to say thank you, Chris, for being on.
Again, thank you for the short notice.
Yeah, not a problem. I got some codes you guys can give away too, but I don't know what's the best method for distributing them.
Actually, we
Probably half the people in here already have it.
yeah. Yeah, is Peachy around? I know he has a thing. We don't have our Nightbot in here. Otherwise, we would have a way to do some keys. We can easily... Actually, why don't we do a Steam like we did before?
Like, you guys can feel free to give some away too, and throw some up on Twitter, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. No, that's
But
totally
I
fine.
could, I can just fire them off through Skype if that works for you guys.
Sure.
Yeah,
That'll
sure.
work great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And, I mean, thanks for being on the show. This is awesome.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
It's always shown one of my favorite games with Lost Orbit. I always look forward to playing Lost Orbit. It's so
Oh,
nice.
thank you. That's really nice of you to say.
And if you guys haven't in chat checked out Lost Orbit, make sure to check it out on Steam. You still got the link?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Link that in there. You can pick it up now. The game is out and amazing. You can pick it up with the soundtrack, which I'm going to be doing after we hop off here. And I thank you so much for being on the show. And thank you so much for watching the show, guys. If you have any indie developers that you want to see on our show, if you have any indie games, make sure to hit us up. There's lots of ways to hit us up if you just look below to get in touch with us. We'll be doing some giveaways, it looks like.
Yes, free things.
Yes, free things. Yeah, maybe we'll do a Twitter giveaway, after the show here.
Yeah,
we'll do
sure.
a Twitter giveaway after the show.
Sounds like a plan.
And if you are an indie developer that wants to be on the show, make sure to get in touch with us too. But yeah, I guess until next time, what have you guys going on tomorrow?
We have a WASD play, so we're either gonna play some GTA 5 or Brawlhalla or Warframe, whatever we feel like playing with the WASD crew.
Sweet. Cool. All right. Yeah, and thank you again, Chris.
Yeah, thanks to you guys too.
All right. And I guess until next time, guys, much love, and we will see you all then.
Good night, everyone.